Okay, so we got a couple requests to actually show how to replace the turn signal, not just test it, but to actually replace it, especially in power folding mirrors, because there's a lot less space here. It's not easy to, for instance, reach a screw that's way underneath the plastic. So if we were to look at trying to undo this, unlike a normal mirror that isn't power folding, it's extremely hard to reach at an angle. You're not going to be able to remove that screw. So the question is, like, how do you actually do it? So for those who are thinking about a power mirror upgrade, the trick here is to remove the outside cowling first. And the way to do that is to take a small Torx driver, I don't know exactly what size this is, and remove the two screws that are on the bottom of the outside cowling. And then on the back side, there's a third point right here that holds the entire cowling in. And I just gently take a needle nose to pressure those two things together and push. And that then allows us to remove the plastic cowl. The reason that's important is that that cowl helps to maintain stiffness of the plastic pieces that house the motor and the mirror assembly. On the non-folding, some of them are metal frames, etc., and they have more room because the additional area here is open, so it's very easy. Well, once you remove the outside cowling, the stiffness of this whole assembly goes down enough where it can flex quite a bit, as you can see. So to reach the screw, which is not hard to see here, but is underneath the plastic, is you just gently nudge it upwards as you mount the Torx screw. And once you do that, you can see that you can now reach it and rotate it just from that small bit of play that you get now that the front cowling is removed. So I'm going to remove this screw. There you go. That's one. I'm going to take off the electrical connector. Make sure that doesn't get forgotten. And then this one, of course, is much easier because it's easy to reach. So I'm going to take that one off too. There we go. So now that that is done and we've disconnected the wire, we can gently pry this up and it comes out no problem. So then, taking the aftermarket lens, peeling off the protective coating, we can mount this in the same exact way, where we enter everything, center it, and make sure that we're aligned properly internally. There we go. And then we can screw it back into place. So I'll just mount it quickly and not waste your time in terms of waiting for me to screw in all these screws one by one. Just snug is fine. There we go. And one thing to remember is we're still going to need this additional lead wire to wire to the puddle lights. So make sure, like what I did is I on both of the mirrors, I pulled it to the top. So on the top right of this sort of buttress here. And this is what I'm going to use to tie to the puddle light to make sure that I can activate the blue, as we saw in the last video I did about what the lights actually look like activated. So there you go. Pretty simple. And then in order to get everything working properly, you would, of course, reinstall. I'm not going to do that right now because I am going to run some of the necessary wiring to the puddle lights and determining what is positive or negative on the puddle light so it can trigger the blue flash, as we saw in the last video. And then I'm also going to add additional components because I have like additional project elements that need to go inside of the mirror housing. and I don't have all the parts yet. So once I get that, I'll do a quick video on why I'm doing it and what I'm hacking in.